Frank, sometimes the NBA schedule favors you and sometimes it doesn't. In this case, you had a day off yesterday. Atlanta had to play here. Does that make an impact in the way that you approach a game at all, or is it the same as usual?
It really doesn't. You know, whether a team played the night before or not, you know, we do our work, we prepare. Sundays we've been, you know, we may have a shoot around in the morning. Typically we'll come down here and have an afternoon walkthrough, and that was the case for today. But, you know, whether a team played the night before doesn't really impact anything for us.
What's the key with Trae Young? What have you seen from him this season?
He's a monster. You know, he can beat you in a number of ways. He has the 4-point range off the bounce, which makes you know, makes him one of the toughest guys in the NBA to defend. And you know, what makes it tough is when you try to double team him, he has the ability to, you know, beat the double team, you know, and still get into the paint, whether it's turning the corner or splitting or rejecting or, you know, the various ways you can beat a trap. He has that ability because of his speed. And, you know, when you add on 9 assists a game, you know, he's sharing it as well and getting his teammates involved. So it doesn't matter what their record is. It doesn't matter, you know, what happened last night. This team came in and beat down.
Thanksgiving dinner to over 250 guests in downtown LA. It was the first of several events in this year's A Season of Giving series. The Lakers have helped thousands of kids and adults with this program since 2000. The Lakers make this program a priority every single year.
It's bigger than basketball. We understand, you know, our platform, and you know, we all just want to give back as much as possible. So anything like this, guys, you know, go out their way, just try to give back as much as possible.
It's crazy that some people just don't have a place to go to eat Thanksgiving. That's how it is. I mean, I grew up in a single-parent household, and my mom did the best she can, but some people don't have that. And so for the Lakers, and obviously them coming together with sponsorship to be able to do stuff like this, I mean, this event is more than just obviously food. As you see Dwight Howard talking and the games and fun, so it's something I wanted to be a part of, and usually I try to do that.
We're just very grateful to have the position that we have to be able to play basketball at the highest level, but also be able to give back to our community. So this is amazing.
The Lakers host Trae Young and the Hawks tonight. The second-year guard has upped his game this season. He's 8th in the NBA in scoring, over 7 points better than a year ago. Trae is also 3rd in assists at nearly 9 per game. So time for a little Access 360 brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times indeed. And Fish, Trae Young, so fun to watch. I think that's why a lot of people get a league pass to watch some of these young superstars in the game. He shoots from the logo. He's got handles. But it's really his playmaking, his ability to get others involved on that team. He's got a young team. He gets those guys easy shots. It's his passing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely his playmaking, using his speed, his craftiness. And as a young guard, the game starts to slow down each year that you're in the league. And I'm old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going
so the game is really slow for me.
Man, you had me, and the whole time I was like, he's staying.
But I don't move as quick as Trae, but I got to the wall fairly quickly. And as we'll take a look here at this Access 360, just Trae using his eyes. He's not going as fast as he can possibly run, but here gets to a spot. Last year, he may have tried to stop and pick this ball up. Surrounded by 3 guys, feels that if he picks it up, he's going to be trapped. So he keeps his dribble, continues to explore along the baseline, a la Steve Nash in Phoenix, makes the drop off to his teammate here again, seeking the middle, using his eyes to set the defense up like a quarterback in football, freezing linebackers and safeties, again finding his teammate on the baseline for a finish. And then here, Torrey Craig, big guard for Denver, not close enough, rejects the screen, gets to the middle, but because he's small, he doesn't finish as well at the rim. So his eyes are always floating, looking for cutters. Jabari Parker with the nice cut and the finish there. And then now here, Geets, I didn't have this in my game. A little bit of a nutmeg there on Will Barton.
That is sick.
And you could tell that this is something he's starting to see in people that are defending them. As they're getting down into their defensive stance, he sees the legs open, pushes through, gets to the baseline, and then, oh, the nice giant killer and one on Aaron Baines. Oh, oops, right through the legs there. Trae Young with the floater. And again, those are things that probably were there for him last year that he didn't see as well.
Yeah.
And now as the game starts to slow down, you know, he's starting to pick his spots, making plays for others, and then still averaging 26, 27 a game himself.
Yeah. Does he remind you of anybody? Does he have a little Nash in him just because he has the ball so much?
A little bit of Nash, you know.
Steph a little bit?
little bit of step because of his ability to score at such a high clip. It's almost like Tiny Archibald, you know, in terms of being able to really score and get anywhere on the court. But his playmaking, though, is really impressive for a young guard.
Yeah, the kids can Google Tiny.
Yeah. You brought him up many times.
I used to be guilty of bringing up these old guys.
No way, man. Google is your friend.
Yeah,
Frank Vogel said they have like a 4-point line out there on their practice court because you got to defend guys like this. I mean, guys shoot now from Luka, Trey. These guys are shooting from deeper and deeper. Let's go inside access. Big game. I want to show you this. Ice Trey. The assists are almost one up from a year ago. Paint. It was 56% of his dimes last year as a rookie. This season, it's an NBA best 73%. Big game. On the strength of that stat, he's pushing Atlanta to be one of the best teams in the paint. Third in the league, just behind the Lakers. Pretty impressive stat.
And Fish already answered, you know, to this because he's, you know, last year he was Speedy McGreedy. He slowed down. You know, he's being coached and how to not only get offense for himself, but as you can see, he's really upped the ante as far as enhancing his teammates' shots at a high percentage. So that's what I love to see, you know, the talent and the will to learn how to play the game. You know, it can last a long time. It makes him better, it makes the team better, and everyone likes playing with someone like him.
Yeah, and when you saw him at Oklahoma, you thought, oh, my God, this guy's a shooter. He's the new kind of point guard. But I think the assists and his willingness and his vision kind of are what surprised everybody. Yeah, I think, and that's from, you know, a little bit of disappointment and frustration at times during the season last year. Remember, he started out slow. Had some injuries. Yep. I think he came in thinking about scoring. And what you have to realize, they gave the keys to this young man in Atlanta. And that comes with responsibility. It's not only about you getting your numbers and you looking good. Yeah. But you need, as a leader, if there's nobody following you, you're not leading. Yeah. So I think that Trae Young is learning how to be a leader by including his teammates, making them better, which now energizes everybody, and he's become a really good young player. Might make the All-Star team this year, Geeks, like we talked about earlier. About a commercial break. I think he will. Lakers and Hawks are about 30 minutes away from tip-off. Danny Green getting some pregame shots up at Staples. The Green Ranger leads the Lakers in three-point shooting, knocking down 41% of his shots from distance. And next on Access, LeBron James got Staples and NBA Twitter buzzing with his early submission for Dunk of the Year. How is year 17? Braun, the same and different from his younger self. At 6:30 against Atlanta. They'll wrap it up Tuesday against the Thunder. That's part of a home-and-home with OKC. Friday, the Lakers open a 4-game trip at the Thunder. Saturday, they'll be in Memphis. All of these games will be here on Spectrum Sports. Now let's check in with Allie and Brandon.
But that said, it's time for Brez's three-point play. 3 things that you are looking forward to in this game, and we start with KCP. Can he sustain what we saw, especially late, against the Kings on Friday?
Yeah, easily his best game of the season, all right? 16 points, made 3 threes. Brought to mind what he did at the end of last season. Had a really nice finish over that final 4 weeks, averaging about 18 points a game. He will not average that this season. There's just too much depth and talent on this team. But what he can do is exactly what he did the other night. Step up in a spot start. Avery Bradley out with that broken bone in his lower leg. And KCP did some really good things on the court the other night. And also, opportunity to kind of continue it tonight. Atlanta not a very good defensive backcourt, so maybe he can do a little damage as well on the offense again tonight. We'll have to see, though.
When it comes to the Lakers' opponent tonight, the Atlanta Hawks, despite Vince Carter playing in his 22nd season and not playing tonight, what's up with the Hawks?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, they're sitting at 4-8. Trae Young, fun, young, explosive player. But no John Collins. He's out for 25 games with a PED suspension. That's a no-no. Kind of the opposite of the Lakers. All right, the Lakers #1 defensively. Atlanta number 25 in defensive rating. Also, Atlanta having a lot of trouble with the ball. They are 29th in turnovers per game. That is not a good stat if you want to be a Hawks fan. As Mike Trudell covered, tough time for them at Staples Center last night. They allowed 150 points to the Clippers, including 43 in the first quarter. The Lakers have had some slow starts so far this month. In fact, they've trailed in half of their games after the first quarter in the month of November. So maybe tonight is a night where they can kind of get out ahead a little bit.
Your third and final point. LeBron has made it very clear. He feels good. He looks good playing out there. Of course, that dunk we've talked a lot about. But you're keeping an eye on his minutes.
Yeah, interesting stuff here. Last game he played 39. A couple games before that he played 37. That's a little high. I think the standard should be you should play fewer minutes than your age. He'll be 35 next month, as we've covered a couple times on these shows already. I think that the best thing for him would be what happened in the game against Golden State the other night. He played only 26 minutes, a big rout for the Lakers. Didn't even need him towards the end of that game. And maybe there will be a little reduction in store with Rondo kind of starting to round into shape a little bit. He missed several games because of that calf injury. This is not a knock on LeBron's game. He has been fantastic so far this season.
Yep.
But if you could lower the minutes just a little bit, kind of keep him fresher as the games get even more meaningful.
Of course, you want it to go deep into the playoffs.
Exactly.
Got to pay attention now. Well done, as always. Tonight after our post-game coverage, it's the premiere of the latest episode of Road Trippin'. Our special guest, the one and only Steve Nash. Now, among the many things we discussed, the resurgence of his former Lakers teammate,